Let's get ready to rumble! Get ready to rumble!
Pump up the jam, yo, pump it up, yo, pump it up.
Y'all ready for this?
Right on.
Right on. Howdy, howdy, howdy. How's everyone doing? So, joining late here, I think like a kilometer in. We are with the HCT team. We're just doing a 2-hour Zone 2 ride. It's a bandit ride, which means as long as you pedal 10 watts, you're staying within the rubber band and you're traveling with the group moving forward, which is great because everybody gets a good workout, but it is in the Zone 2 area. So even if you're gonna go and pedal like beyond, you won't get anywhere. So lights out. So here it is. There's a leader in there with marked in yellow. I love that when it's more structured. Yesterday was a unstructured ride. It was a disaster. Not so much fun in my opinion. So this one is more, you know, shake out the legs, and this is what we're gonna do today. We're gonna bring in some music. Let's see what we got here on tap for everybody. Feel free to come into the chat, ask some questions, because we talk about Zone 2 today. It's all about Zone 2. To be quite frank, we're not gonna make it 2 hours, so it's probably gonna be an hour max for me. Then I'm gonna drop out. That's the time I have for today. The route is gonna be called Navigate, which has one little bump in there. I mean, little is good, but it's fun. It's a fun route. I like it. And I like the concept of it because there's another group, I think it's called Bicycleholics, if I pronounce that right. They do the same kind of like approach here, raw band, and you can check off some badges, which is phenomenal. And you do it in the pace, which is doable, but yeah, you have to do some time commitment. 2 hours it is, but there you go. Bob is your uncle. Lots of chatter in these rides, which is great. So you come here to enjoy riding, move the legs, and take it easy. So I will do exactly that. And staying in Zone 2, that's the most important part here. Alright, seems like they have some fun here, and the soccer fans are up early. Yeah, we have the FIFA World Cup coming up in Canada, US and Mexico. So that's going to be very exciting. I see Canadian flags in the peloton here, which is great. It's very early for me here, considerably. I thought I'm gonna sleep in a little bit until 8, but I get up at around like 5:30 and get on with my day. And this is a 7:50 ride for me on a weekend. I will try to do it a little bit easier, but the kids, they don't know weekends. They just know I want to get up as soon as dawn breaks and the sun comes out. Yeah, that's it. rainbow, or some would say here. Nobody sees. But we talk about zone 2 in this ride a lot. And how do you know that you're in zone 2? There are two measurements you want to look at. The first one is numbers based, the other one is feeling based. I trust the feeling more than the numbers because your zones 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they vary a little bit based on your daily fitness. So today I'm actually a little bit more fatigued and very tired, so my zone 2 is probably higher. Sorry, lower. Means I would probably enter zone 2 at 105, 110 beats per minute, and exiting zone 2 at 135. That's where I exited. So when you're riding in rides like that, make sure you pay attention to your zones. You can see that on the top left here at Zwift, or I will pull up another graphic here very quickly in a minute, but shows that on the YouTube screen too. It shows my heart rate, which is right now 103 or 102. So I'm not really there. I feel I'm still working up, which is okay. Zone 2 is coming. So I'm making my way up there, so everybody does their own pace a little bit here. And zone 2, based on numbers, for me, 110 to 135. That is it. Another thing which I would measure more directly, and it's probably better for you guys to measure too, is if you are having conversation in your ride like I have with you right now, that is zone 2. If you do huffing and puffing and cannot have that conversation, you're out of zone 2. You're in zone 3 or higher. So yeah, so keep that in mind. Okay, this is more the feeling based, and I would always recommend going by body feeling. If you know your body over time, then you will be fine. Listen to your body first. Don't trust always the numbers. Numbers will give you good insight, but if you trust your body, that's it. So, moving forward, how important is zone 2? Zone 2 is very important. Zone 2 are foundation rides and make cycling fun in a way of you need to have a foundation for your house to build up the fancy framing, rooms, second level, and house and balconies and everything. So if your foundation is a little bit rusty or corrodes or breaks away, you won't have anything good what comes on top of it. So do zone 2 rides as your main training block, I feel. So that means I would go as far as 60%, 50 to 60% of your training throughout the week, throughout the month should be in zone 2. Even a little bit more, I think up to 70%, 50 to 70% train in zone 2 and lock in these gains, because when you do these threshold workouts over, under, FTP for example, VO2 max workouts, sprinting or climbing sessions, make sure you take it easier the day after or the days after your session, and lock in your gains in terms of taking easy spindle legs in zone 2 for a longer period of time. When I say longer period of time, 3 categories. Beginners in Zone 2 start with 45 to 60 minutes of Zone 2. Spin the legs very easily, stay in your Zone 2 heart rate, and do it for at least 45 to 60 minutes, okay? If you're a little bit more advanced and you have more time on your hands, do it for at least an hour and a half. At least an hour and a half. That will lock in your Zone 2s as well. If you're more advanced, there's no real like Zone 2 cap, but it's probably between 2 and 5 hours Zone 2 rides, okay? That can be with a group like this going to the back countryside of New Zealand, Australia, Europe, you name it, South America. That would be great, wouldn't it? So yeah. So having said that, that's the most important thing. Lock in your gains. Have at least a very balanced training schedule with minimum 50% of Zone 2 rides throughout the week. I know racing is so much fun and I do it almost every day, but it's important that we have other stuff lined up too. And here comes the cheerleading team. And the back, here we go. How's everybody doing? Yay! Whew. I'm coming up a little bit up with power now here. Power is 1.8 now. 1.6, okay. We're getting there. I think 2 watts per kilo, 2.0 watts per kilo is kind of like my sweet spot for Zone 2. Let's see where we can get there. Oh, like the right leader here has some questions prepared. Keeps everybody guessing. It's great. Good entertainment here for the group. Upside down like Spider-Man you are, huh? So yeah, again, with groups like that, you don't have to push on the hills. You just stay attached, and as long as you pedaling 10 watts, you're staying in the group. And if you put more watts out than the average, you're moving forward. And if you are really good, you're pushing the whole group if you're at the front with the most power. So the average makes the speed out here. Zone 2, what is important as well? For Zone 2 rides, prepare your surroundings, okay? Because normally, yeah, an hour of commitment or 90 minutes or even 2 hours requires preparation around your bike. So have a fan ready, have towels ready, have your drink ready. As normal, you should have that ready for every Zwift ride you start. In addition to that, I would highly recommend for you as a beginner to have a breakfast before that, or like a meal before that, 4 hours or 3 hours before that, and then maybe a gel or start electrolyte drinks right before 5 minutes before you go, and keep hydrating with water, because in zone 2 you're penetrating an aerobic zone which makes you sweat more, okay? Makes you sweat more, and you will lose a lot of like fluid. That zone is important, yeah, for weight loss for sure. That will actually get your fat zones activated, and you will start burning fat first before you burn energy. Because when we do racing, yeah, there's a short little warm-up, but as soon as we start racing, we will enter zone 3 or 4, depends, or 5, I don't know how quick it goes. And then we start burning energy in form of sugar, which is mainly in glycogen first. And it's kind of like maybe the berries you have with your breakfast, if you have that right in the morning, or the extra spoon of sugar you put in your coffee. It's that sugar content your body is grabbing in first, because it's accessible right now. So having said that, fuel up for your longer rides before you go on. Otherwise, 60 or 90 minutes in, you feel very sluggish. And that's an advantage of Zwift. Yes, you can go off the bike and go to the fridge, go to the shower and refuel, but if you do your rides outside, that's a different story, huh? Then you're like sitting somewhere on the sidewalk looking for a convenience store to buy a Snickers or something, you know, to get back your energy. So don't do it on a complete empty stomach, except if you are experienced and you know exactly what you're doing with your body. There's certain like workout programs where that is a given, however, not for the beginners, okay? So I do, for example, like Ironman racing where you race, yeah, 4 to 5 hours on a bike or longer, meaning you more or less coming to a point where you feel a very like uncomfortable feeling from your energy storage, and coping with that and knowing what it feels like is a feeling you can train in zone 2 if you don't have a breakfast. Tackle that with a more or less empty stomach, and you have to refuel or fuel your body while you're riding, okay? It's a little bit of a different approach, more scientific approach, and you don't want to gamble with that. So fuel before you race or ride, and Bob is your uncle. You're gonna be fit whatever comes in your way, okay? You don't want to bonk halfway through. That won't be fun. Even though it's important to know what it feels like getting close to it, so you know when you don't have any measurements, you know exactly what to do. Tactical Watts coming into the chat. Hey, do you not fancy racing in La Roya Tour? I decided to take it easy. I do not do the tour. I know Zwift Insider advertised that as well. A great tour. I think there's La Roya Tour, there's Hispanic Tour, and there is Bikeaholics Ride, or this one, which was, for example, not advertised. So there's lots of rides throughout the weekend. I think Airco season kicks up as well, Chasing Red. So lots of tours. Sorry, Tactical Watts, I have not joined this tour. Can't do it all. So I'm trying to do a little bit of a fast. My energy level is not high because of that. So, and I just do it over the weekend. And then probably next week I'm gonna tackle September 1st, the racing series again. But other than that, I take it easy. Yeah, but thanks for the shout out. Yeah, again, got lots of racing, lots of group rides, tours, workouts on Zwift. I want to be completely transparent. There's like other softwares like MyWhoosh, Ruby, Garmin, Tax. They all have their own like simulation games. I stick to that. You can go wherever you want, but the Zone2 riding concept is the same across the board. If you do it on other platforms as well as outside, inside, take your time. Pick your Zone2 range, hard range, or measure it in a way, have a conversation. And if you're not huffing and puffing, like huffing and puffing, I cannot hold it anymore, you're out of Zone2, okay? So make sure you are in Zone2 when you're doing these rides. Otherwise, you might waste some time. Yeah. It's about burning the fat resources in your body, and they're gonna be only activated if you do low intensity rides. Period. Tactical Awards, we had a good ladder race versus you guys. I'm in a TNP, the tour team. Oh yeah, TMP. You know what? Yes, I think we raced. We raced in the crit circuit. What was it? Downtown Delphin. I feel like you kicked our butts there really good. That was good sport. I feel like that was you. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ladder races, love it, love it. I'm racing in Coalition Xeon, and Tactical Watts is racing in the TNP team. And you normally race 5 against 5 on a course which takes around like 45 minutes. I mean, I would love to have it a little bit longer, but yeah, 45 minutes, 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And the best out of 5, your team needs to place higher than the other team in total, and a better placed team wins in total. So you don't have to win the race, but you can second, third, fourth, fifth. I think that's the win for your team. Our other team, TMP Vuelta, is only 4 to 5 spots behind you on the ladder now. Would be a good race, okay? I mean, I know if you guys see our team, Coalition Xeon, as like jumping board to get up there, you guys can line up a challenge. I'm not the team captain for our ladder race, Tactical Bots. I think that is Tom or Nick. I mean, get out there, request a challenge, and if the team lines up a challenge which fits in our schedule, we will probably accept no matter what. I mean, we are, I think, 12 people in our team, rotating around, and it's always fun to have a mixed team. They're better, and they're right up all like categories in there, higher cut and mid and lower cut riders, so you get a good mix in there. Yeah, Colin's a friend of mine, a streamer too, so good guy. We give each other handshakes, attacking the other team. However, having said that, I think Colin just came back from Mexico. I mean, I think like 3 weeks back, and he's working on his fitness. I think the Mexico vacation, he's still not back, and he's working on that. I can sense a little bit of frustration in him, because I think I have passed him as of right now in terms of like results. Normally he's always finishing in front of me, But I didn't go on Mexico vacation. Let's go like this. But he's coming back quickly. I tell you that. He's a really good guy. Yeah. I think he actually did a guest rider appearance for TNP. I think he briefly like raced with you guys for 1 or 2 races, I feel like. So yeah, all good. I love good competition, love good sport. And the good thing is that with the ladder race, normally the ladder race format is like that you will be matched up with other teams and performance riders at the same class. Pretty good, so the races are pretty close and tight and depends on the course. It's very tactical, which I love. So yeah, he did in the SISU tour. Okay, I think he joined a couple races there because Colin has a difficult schedule with his work. So yeah, SISU tour is probably one of the longer ones or difficult ones. There are a couple tours out there. It's like the Eco Tour, FRR, SISU tour. There is Hispanic tour, and I'm probably forgetting like tons of it. But there are tours which are multiple stages over multiple days, longer, sometimes like 6 to 20 days long, back to back to back with maybe a couple rest days in it. But it's pretty hard, tough racing if you do it all. Even if you just join one, tough racing, which is great exercise. So we are coming up here more in our zone 2. We are in it now. It's good, very low, penetrating it now. Half an hour in with a heartbeat of 118. That's on a lower range, which is great, but it will do something. So you see the sweat running, it is good. We are in the heat locker doing so. Again, try to do your zone 2 rides regularly. Longer rides, maybe on the weekend. If not, I know I like to race throughout the week. And then on the weekends are the longer races, which I really like. Like longer races meaning like 70 to 90k. Normally throughout the week it's maybe like 20 to 30k. Which is a great series you want to check out. Is the Z Racing series. It's on Zwift. You do 4 races, different courses throughout the month, and you get ranked based on that. If you can do that, great sport, great stuff. And you're going to be categorized and placed with other riders which have the similar performance level as you are, so it's very competitive. Chris G from Herd says right on. Thanks Chris, appreciate it. Appreciate it. So what do you normally see here in these like chill rides, community rides, group rides? There's that coffee banner here. Now people not going out for coffee. Zwift invented like a, I think it's a 90-second, no sorry, 3-minute break. 3 minutes. So 3-minute break, it will tick down, you activate that countdown, it ticks down, and if you're not back, your rider will be left behind. Otherwise, your rider will stick with the group and stay at the same pace on average. So what's nice, again, with rides like this as well, you cannot feel the resistance when it changes. It's always like one resistant. I think it's ergo. I don't know what it's called, ergo mode or something. So you're only pedaling the watts you're putting out is very consistent, meaning you stay in the group more easily. And if you do so, you have more fun and you can actually like hang with the group longer, which allows you to take off these longer routes and badges and check it off. You can do it on the weekends. Pretty cool. So here's a prime example. Normally that would be like an all-out sprint, or you would feel it quite a bit, but because the bandit is in here, which keeps you in the rubber band, you're still just pushing easily like 1.9 right now here, or even just like 10 watts. I mean, I'm doing 150. If you push 10 watts, you're still sticking with the group, which is great. Whew. Zone 2, what else is important with Zone 2? Zone 2 means low intensity rides, okay? So there's something said about doing other like workouts where you, let's say, I would have an FTP of 150, and my Zone 2 ride right now is 120 watts. So it's consistently over the entire period. There's no like going 130, 150, 180 watts. It's not like going up and down from the graph. It's consistent, always one wattage, like range, let's say the range, plus minus, huh? A few watts. So you want to stay in there because you want to give your body a consistent intensity. That's the magic word, consistency in Zone 2. Doing it regularly and doing it throughout the entire ride. Yes, it is sometimes like a little bit a head scratcher when you're riding, for example, like free or outdoors and somebody comes by and it's just a notch quicker. And that's where you have to learn to shut off that button, not to follow that person, because my racer intuitive like, oh, I'm gonna like dig in, go behind him or her and then race. But now, no matter what, if we start chasing or sprinting or getting away from you, head down, look at your numbers and just paddle. Zone 2 race or Zone 2 rides is so much discipline you want to teach yourself and get used to, that you're not going out of your Zone 2. And there's so many temptations on Zwift to do so. When people come by in a bigger group and you say, oh, you know what, I can go there. But that's exactly when you end up being in Zone 3. So Zone 2, consistency throughout the ride. In these Zone 2 rides, yes, you can incorporate different workouts, but then it's not like a pure Zone 2 workout. Because the group here travels at a consistent speed, you can, for example, do some interval training, let's say at the end of the ride, where you fall back and you sprint back on, then you rest with the group, you fall back, you sprint back on. But I would highly recommend doing that after you do your Zone 2 ride. So if this is like 2 hours, do it the last 20 minutes if you can. But don't piss off the ride leader, because he will think, oh my god, you're dropping. He will send maybe like a sweeper to get you back in. So make known what you're doing, okay? Then it's all cool. You won't upset anybody. I always say or ask, how important is Zone 2? And I cannot stress enough, it is important. It is the foundation of your cycling. Even though you're just riding with a friend towards the climb or in a park on your regular like loop-de-loop, if you do it in an easier way and you're in heart rate, you're actually training tremendously without always like pushing yourself. It's the time, the longer period of like consistent speed. This is what the actual training is. So there's a little bit of a trick here. When you pedal this one here, you can go in a higher gear and you turn around. Let's do that very quick. Higher gear. Here we go. I'm in the higher gear now. I probably have to push more wattage. But I turn around the pedals less. Now I have an RPM of 150 watts, okay? So, and it feels hard, and most of the time your legs will get fatigued quicker. So if you, for example, dial that back, let's say to like 80, let's see where we are here. Okay, so it's 70. And we're riding 150 watts. Here we go. It feels way easier on the pedals, way easier on the legs. Meaning, yes, you are pedaling around more often in a minute or hour, but you pushing less watt on the pedals. You're pushing that watts more often, but it's less. So your legs stay fresher. So in Zone 2 rides, pay attention to that. Spin your legs heavy. So a 70, probably more like an 80 RPM, you want to achieve to give your legs the sensation that you kind of like jogging along, you know? You see, that's kind of like how I would jog a little bit. Very easy. So try to incorporate that higher RPM. Don't push too much wattage, it's more about turning the legs around quicker. Important to Zone 2, okay? If you want to train specific muscle groups, sure, you're gonna go out there and push more watt, less cadence. That's totally up to you. But to stay fresher longer, that's the way to do it, okay? What type of meat is used in traditional shepherd's pie? I think shepherd's pie comes from Australia. Is it kangaroo? Lamb, okay. Lamb it is. Great. But I had that question, I argued that with my wife. is the prune of the race. There is something to be said because there are different types of prunes, I feel like. Ah, plums. Yeah, plums, sorry. Alright, I'm getting into the entertainment part here. So, yeah, with Zone 2 rides, it's good to do them like in a group. Obviously, time passes by very quickly. If you do that on Zwift, you don't really have to look at Zwift. You can like watch a movie, watch a show, talk to somebody on the phone. It's a good check if you are still in Zone 2 as well, in terms of breathing. Or distract yourself because these sessions can be long and lengthy. So be ready for that. And a little trick if you want to upgrade your Zwift, your gear, your frames, do use the frames which are not as good. For example, I'm just working to upgrade my Zwift carbon frame, which is not really like a firecracker. I'm just doing it to get 3 Zwifted brand frames upgraded so I can unlock the Tron upgrade process, which I already have, but I have not unlocked that process yet. So these rides are very good to use and stay protected because you only have to put out 10 watts to stay in it, and you use your, I don't know, not too spicy fast frames and rear sets. So yeah, do it in these rides, you actually get ahead on that, because if you would have to push this on your own, yeah, it would be a different story. So I think we're entering the climbing stage of this right here, which won't affect us, but you know, people will start pushing, but we do not have to push. And that's again the beauty of these races. Oh, sorry, I always say races, rides. What we can start doing here a little bit is hand out ride-ons. I haven't seen that in this ride yet. We are how many people? A few, I'll tell you that. Probably close to 100. It's actually a really good turnout here for HCT. Really good. Good job, guys, promoting it. if you incorporating this right, zone 2 right, and combining it with your diet because you want to lose weight, for example. Let's talk about that a little bit on the end. So these zone 2 rides are ideal for fat losing. You can be in zone 2 on the bike. You can do brisk walks, like faster walks with your walking sticks if you need to. You can do incline walks on a treadmill to get your heart rate up and intensity a little bit. It's all about the heart rate, which needs to be in zone 2. And yeah, you can do it on a sitting bike. It's a little bit hard to track for swimming because most of the time in swimming our heart rates go high up very quicker. But I feel you can do a zone 2 swim, which is more like a technical swim, if you ask me. Zone 2 runs, yeah, super light jog. If you want to run faster, you have to learn how to run slower first. Okay. On a diet side again, I would highly recommend looking into food and read the packaging. If you don't understand the ingredients, put it away. If the ingredients list is too long, put it away. If you see like some kind of like funny colors on the food, put it away. So what I'm saying with that, like, not everything is made for you, especially if you want to lose weight. I highly recommend doing just raw ingredients. One ingredient: eat a banana, eat carrots, vegetables, you know, lean meat. And again, like when you buy meat, like look on the ingredients. Meat is not just meat. When they pack meat together with other stuff, for example, like ground beef is not just ground beef. There is already stuff mixed in, probably salt and pepper, and maybe some gelatin to make it look bigger or juicier. So the manufacturers, they're like sneaky, so be on point with it on that. Yes, they're like, when we start your day with routines like have a glass of water, you can put lemon in there just to activate a little bit your digestive system in the morning. Coffee, don't blow yourself up and get your insulin spiked with tablespoons of sugar or cream. So pay attention to that. Read up about insulin, because insulin is kind of like the vehicle in your body which transfers energy where it should or should not go. Okay. If you spike insulin, there's more stuff happening in your body when it comes to your diet. So yeah, I would always recommend right now raw ingredients, single ingredients. Check out pasta again, check out the ingredients of pasta. Get the pesto again, check out the ingredients in pesto, what's in there. Now if you just like have tomato sauce, a little basil on it, 3 ingredients. Depends how the pasta is made, huh? But other than that, yeah, in terms of balance, you know, there's obviously carbs, there's protein, and everything else in terms of sugar you can like consume you can consume. If you want to build up muscle, obviously you have to increase protein and do higher weight in your weight training and less reps. Again, focus on your nutrition as well. And if you want to lose fat, again, protein is your best bet. And be aware of what you eat. Stay true to yourself. And that may or may not be different for you as an individual. But yeah, so I can speak for me and I tell you what I do. What I do is I do overnight oats. This is how I start my day. The night before, I do raw oats. I put them in a container. I think it's 4 cups. And then I put a little bit of chia seeds in there, like maybe like a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons, a little bit. Teaspoon or less of cinnamon. Then I take oat milk and fill it up to where it's all covered. And here's the Canadian in me, and that's the sugar part. And you want to be careful with that. Maple syrup, okay? I'm choosing maple syrup because it's better than real syrup, but maple syrup is more organic. It comes from Mother Nature. Honey would be an alternative, but don't put sugar, white sugar or any brown sugar in it. It's already processed, so stay away from processed food. So that's how I start my day, with overnight oats and coffee. Just coffee. No milk, no sugar, just black coffee. Have it a small little espresso cup or like a bigger cup on the side. Start your day. Okay. If you are fasting, so you stop eating, for example, the day before, let's say at 6 o'clock, and you have a late breakfast at like 9 o'clock, that's 12, that's, what is it, 15 hours of fasting, which is actually a pretty good amount. A pretty good amount of fasting if you do that on a regular basis, a couple days in a row, or how your body like copes with it. I would highly incorporate that. Sometimes I do a longer fast, like a 24-hour fast or 36-hour fast. But coming back to my regular days, like coffee, oat milk, coffee, overnight oats, that's breakfast. If alternative I do is I use a bowl filled with blueberries and put low-fat Greek yogurt in it, and again a little drizzle of maple syrup. Guten Morgen, Bieres. Guten Morgen. Wie geht's, wie steht's? Schön, dass du da bist. So that's the breakfast. Lunch, yeah, I would increase that. You can with lunch you cannot do anything wrong. You want to do like chicken breast with rice, asparagus. That would be the ultimate. But if you do just simply that, or even if you're gonna go a little bit heavier, you still have time to burn that throughout the day, okay? When it comes to dinner, it's a little bit different, okay? Because you are approaching evening time, and to be honest, nothing good comes after 6 o'clock. So again, salad with protein, like maybe chicken strips, like grilled chicken strips, and pay attention to the sauce what you're using, okay? Don't over season it with mayo or anything like that, so be careful on that end. In between, I would highly recommend maybe some vegetables. Could be cucumber, carrots. With fruit, you have to be careful. I know they are great, apples, pineapple, but they're holding a lot of sugar content. So if you do that, like if you have an afternoon like training session, let's say you're training at 5 o'clock, have an apple or 2 or pineapple before your training and give you the extra sugar boost, yeah, that is okay. but don't start uh, peeling a pineapple after your dinner and having like 7, 8 o'clock, you know. Again, everything what comes after 6 is in my opinion not as good. Stay away from alcohol, obviously, from like any sugary pop drinks. Even though they say it's Coke Zero, like there's so many other extracts in there which makes it sweet, which is a little bit artificial, which cannot be good. So yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, we have to do some cheat meals. Yeah, I have my sushi once in a while. Yeah, I have my Coke Zero as well. I'm not perfect, so yeah. How's Beerus? You guys okay in the chat? Thanks for coming on here. So appreciate always like people checking in on me. I know I hold myself accountable, but if you do that to me, it's even better. So actually my time is up here. I said I'm gonna do it for an hour. As soon as my wife walks in here, she gets the arena and she can do her workout then, and I have to disappear. Riz says I'm good, bro. Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate it. I'm okay. You know what? I want to race actually over the weekend, but we have too much stuff going on, so I actually decided to like take it mellow, do some fasting, and do easy rides instead of like joining any like big tours. Beerus, yeah, been doing more running lately, trying to drop some weight. Okay, totally agree. And you know what? That's actually a good idea. I am maybe too much on the bike. I should like incorporate some running sessions too. You take off, man. Maybe try swimming too. Swimming you won't regret. It's super easy on your joint and good for you too. You won't even imagine how much you burn while swimming. But it's always like a hassle going to the pool and so on. I get that. No music either, or except you have that one fancy like underwater earplugs and so on. But yeah, you take care of business, Riz. I catch you later, brother. So we have been going up here this climb now. The Maya climb is behind us. We are on the Itza climb now, which is a very popular climb in racing. And it's back-to-back climbs, which are doable. Right now we are more on the recovery section between these climbs. But do them for yourself, not with a rubber band, so you know exactly what it feels like. These interval climbs are good. It's kind of like, depends which category you are racing in. First climb, maybe 3 to 7 minutes. The first Maya climb. Then we have a little bit of a recovery section where you want to draft as best as possible to be ready for exactly the section which comes after this right-hander here. And then it's up to you which course you pick, because yes, it's a climb finishes and hopefully you turn right into the gradient going downwards. If you have another race coming up where you turn left, Merry Christmas. You are having 6 switchbacks of the gradients coming towards you, which are a pain in racing and which most of the time differentiate the man from the boys. And that's where I turn out to be a boy. To be transparent. Oh man, I get humbled so quickly there. Not a climb at all, I'll tell you that. So it's great racing. It's like you cannot sleep in these like rollers, constantly up and downhill rollers. You need to stay on the gas and alert to not like lose the wheel. This one here is a little bit easier. Thanks Emily for the ride on, because we are protected by the bandit, by the rubber band. But in real racing, this is pain. Along this section here, you won't believe, but people attacking here. It's a right left hand bender uphill where you can make a gap of 3 to 5 seconds if you really push it. Hugo's moves. Spider-Man. Yeah, on the Itza climb, this part here is the tingling part. You know, you're already exhausted making it back on. Now you draft back onto the group over the bridge here, which has a riser in it itself, and then you do like a hard switchback, right, left, to push over the next bender, and then you actually made it over top. So with this section, they're really testing you if you are made and deserve to be in the front group. Yeah, you will be. Here it is, pushing over that right and left hand bender is key to stay in the front. And it's head down, pushing the watts, you know. Depends on how you are. You can match people's watch and just stay in a group. But if you want to put the hurt into people, that's the place where you do it. Otherwise, you just try to stay on as best as possible.
Spotify Premium is the best way to upgrade your listening experience. Enjoy your music fully when you play songs in any order. Download them offline at higher quality and listen to them ad-free. It's what your ears deserve. Tap the banner to learn more.
If you made that bender, you're almost there. You're almost there. Just like one more little push. One more little push to make it over the climb with the front group. So make sure when you come over that bridge here or over that ridge to push into the group from the back. So you're using momentum. It's momentum in these like upper rollers, which gets you up there. And then you have to like keep paddling to match the power of the other riders to stay in it. Or if you want to attack, use the momentum and carry it forward over these little like plateau sections here. but you have to really push hard here on these like super steep angles because you are going to smash it here. You want to put the hurt into people. 8% here, 6, 7. This really hurts in racing. But this is where it's at. This is where it's at. If you are here with the group, I'm certain you will push over that little hump and you will be in the front group. Or you have completed the Itza climb with that little right hand bender here. A little push, boom, you're over it. That's for me the unofficial kind of like, you made it. The rest is drafting. So luckily we're turning right here, so no more climbing. If you don't have had that badge of having highest speed, that would be something you can explore here. How fast can you go on and down? And not so much in the group because the group will slow you down. They can tops out at 85. But do this section or try the radio tower downhill. I think most of the people are getting 100 clicks on the radio tower downhill, depends on your weight. If not, try to go up there with an arrow, power up, or an ambush to increase your weight or decrease your arrow profile and make yourself faster. Maybe a steamroller will do it too, but yeah. Keep hydrating if you under the entire route here. So, Dirk Moorbrook says hi. Good to see you, good to hear from you. Thanks for the ride on. Whew. '89. Was it? When was it? Was it November, October? I think it was November 8th. Oh, here you go. Which nation launched it first? Man into space. What a good one. USSR. I think that is correct. Yeah. Kennedy. That's a good one. Never, yeah. 49. You followed him. Hello, buddy. Cheers for dropping in, man. How are you doing? I'm doing good. Doing a zone 2 ride. Easy peasy today. Just waiting until my wife comes in and we got this one. And I have to go. I'm out of here. So until then I can. It was 9:47. Wow. So zone 2 rides on Zwift. Easy peasy to do. Inside, as you are more stable on your bike. What that means is you actually can incorporate some light weights. Yeah, you say, okay, now we're talking about Peloton. Peloton does that. But it's doable. Even if you do a different movement, which gets your heart rate up again, which is good for me because I'm on the lower end of zone 2. But it trains different parts as well. If you want to lose belly fat, what I heard, start running. Start running. Slow zone 2 jogs will do wonders. So having that motion, you still, I can already feel it. You can, you're stressing your, what is it called? Your core. Well, where are the obliques actually? I don't know how obliques here. I don't even know. Again, do something, get out of your normal like bike holding zone, like this, shoulders, loosen them up. You know, this is a stretch your leg kind of like ride. I'm training for the right Joe Brook 94.7. I'm using a mountain bike for strength and increasing the distance for endurance. You follow right. I wrote that in the chat. Unfortunately, I don't know this particular race or ride. Joe Brook 94.7. I'm using a mountain bike. Is that gonna be like off-road, or is it gonna be What's the race or road like? Mountain bike for strength. I know mountain biking is very exhausting because in order to go downhill and using the mountain bike properly, you have to deserve that. You have to go uphill, and that's where it gets hard. I know there are like stunning e-bikes, mountain bikes now. On Whistler we have like great lifts. It's crazy riding. It's a road race with a few hills. Okay, and right now you're training on a mountain bike to do that. Yeah, you know, like I know a lot of mountain bikers which have great strength doing endurance races or coming with their like hill climbing power on the road bike, and they can push good watts. So focusing on your squats, on your glutes is important. I think that will really help you. However, the position mountain bike on road bike is different. So you want to be aware that you're sitting in a different spot on your bike and your muscles are slightly different engaged. That's all what I can say. And one more thing is in regards to aerodynamics. Mountain bike is not so much aerodynamic. Again, it comes down to the position. Going like on a road bike like this, head down, and having that neck positioning here, this one here, it's different on a mountain bike where you be more like this, straight hack, the neck, head, and spine is in one line. Different position. So, but in general, it's great training. Mountain bike is great training. Just be careful on the downhill. You don't want to like ruin your race because you fall on your collarbone or like have an accident on a downhill. Never know, huh? Great fun. Mountain biking, tell you that. I have everything to go mountain biking, all the protective gear, helmet, spine patches and all that what you need. But I sold my mountain bike during COVID times, as all these like second-hand bike prices spiked to the moon. You know what? I'm making a buck now here, and I was using Zwift as my outlet instead. So mountain bike went out the door, and Zwift came into my life like way more than the mountain biking. Oh yeah, since I started racing this year, strength was my biggest disadvantage, so I make up for it using aerodynamic positions. You got it, buddy. You got it.
Where you can talk with real licensed therapists, not AI. Wellness shouldn't be overwhelming, and therapists can help figure out what's best for you. And yeah, it might involve a screen detox. Visit betterhelp.com/Spotify Music for 10% off your first month. That's better, HELP.
Mountain bikes are like so much heavier than road bikes, probably double or triple.
Too cute. You think that's cool?
So you alone pushing that thing uphill is having like a 10-kilogram backpack on your road bike going uphill too. So there's definitely strength training on the program for you, which will be tremendously helpful for you. Good for you. Good for you. But again, like train your positioning on the bike. Yeah, when you race 94k, it's still doable. You're on the bike like for, depends on the course profile, like for 2.5 hours probably. So yeah, 2.5 hours on a mountain bike or 2.5 hours in an aero bike position is different than on a triathlon bike as well, you know. So play with that a little bit, put it into consideration. And at this point, another tip: nutrition. Look into nutrition, gels, and calories taking into your bottles into you. You have a BMX rider, for example, that's similar to a mountain bike. Position is different, huh? upright. Hands wide outside. My wife is not coming, so I have some extra time. It's all gravy now. It's all gravy. Atomic bomb. Or Versailles. It's just that I'm gonna be racing stronger people, which is doable, but the distance is not something I'm used to. I'm age restricted to 60 kilometers, so 9 kilometers is a big challenge. You know what, 9 kilometers is another hour of racing probably. Again, depends on the profile of the course. So I'm age restricted. What do you mean with age restricted? To 60 kilometers. Does your doctor doesn't allow you to go over 60 kilometers, like over 2 hours of riding? Or what's the restriction? That would be something I would need to know to maybe give you a better advice or a better tip, just from my perspective. You don't have to take it to the heart, but just get another opinion. Why not? Nelson Mandela, isn't it? So coming back to your question, 60 and 90 kilometers. If you only used to ride no more than 60k, there is some kind of like something clicks in our body where we put our body under stress for a longer period of time, and 60k could be a marker for some people, maybe for you too. Doing another 30k is on one hand physically a challenge, but it's more mentally okay as well. The category are done by age and distance, so youth is 60k, 14 to 16 years old. The juniors is 90 kilometers, 7 to 19, and above is anything above 90 kilometers. Okay, so you're 16 probably, or maybe on the verge of crossing up to 90k. Okay, that's a little bit different story than for you, my friend, because you are still in the growing phase, and there are people, teenagers in the category 17 and 19, they had 2 more years maybe on you to build bigger muscles. And they will make your race hard for sure, especially if you can draft or not. But yeah, riding it smart is key here. So what I would recommend for you is you have probably like a little bike computer on your bike, and as you can see at Zwift here, the wattage, the speed, and the heart rate. Try to be in your zones. And you know, sometimes it's hard, but if you know the course, it's even better. I know being outside, it's hard to do because right now there's traffic on there and may or may not be like guarded off for the race, but be familiar with the course. If it's a loop course, that would be ideal. But having said that, look at on your Garmin or your bike computer and write by wattage, like by power, what I have here. So right now I'm writing 120 watts. So trying to hold that for at least 20 minutes, okay? That's your FTP. I mean, if you're on Zwift, you already know what I'm talking about. But trying to stay there the entire race. Or if you can, push it a little, but then recover, take your time to recover on the downhills. And have always like some kind of fuel in your bottles. Electrolyte drinks. Energy, okay? So, and there are drink mixes from, I was going to say Gatorade, but Gatorade is not like the healthiest, to tell you that. But it has a lot of salt in there, which you need at this distance to replenish your sweat. You know, you're sweating a lot, and you may or may not have problems with that. But yeah, tip: have a little bike pouch on your stem and fill this up. And now you hear right, with Haribo or Skittles, and you can snack on that throughout the race. It's like short bursting energy which will be deployed in your body right away, but don't overdo it, okay? Don't eat it all in the first hour. So just like start with it like gently, like 30 minutes in, okay? It's kind of like you have to sip on drinks, you have to keep chewing away on some snacks as well, but not too much that it affects your breathing. Do it in strategic places where you are not in traffic around other people, because you could fall, or your bottle can like slip out of your holder and it falls down. Even dramatically, another rider could lose the bottle and you riding over it and you fall. So real road racing is different, so you have to be aware of your surroundings. Zwift is way more forgiving, but you can practice everything on Zwift. So it's great. That sense is great. Yeah, look for numbers. Go more like for numbers. Your body is growing. I know how strong you are, and 60k is a lot. Going 90k, 17, yeah, it's doable. You know, I was 18. I did my first Ironman in Austria. What's it called? Klagenfurt. 180 kilometers. It's a big task, I tell you, and it's very hilly. Austria is very hilly. So, and I was riding based on power numbers. If you have a Zwift account, you can easily train that here on Zwift or on your mountain bike outside, and you can do that riding for an hour. Look the power numbers, like how much wattage you put out. You can sustain, like, be honest with yourself, start easy the first 20 minutes, go with like, let's say 150 watts, keep that for half an hour, see how you feel. If it's easy, keep doing it and see how it feels after an hour, because it will feel different, dramatically different after an hour, holding that kind of wattage. It's kind of like holding a glass of water for 10 minutes. The first minute might not be hard, but holding that glass of water for 10 minutes, the last 9 and 10 minutes, it's gonna be like, feel like you're holding a car. So yeah, it gets heavier and heavier. I hope you get the example what I'm trying to make here. I always say luck is the opportunity born out of preparation. So you need luck to win this race or to become first in your category, which is maybe doable. However, you want to be prepared. Preparing is maybe simulating certain situations. And I talked about that at the beginning of the Zone 2 ride. If you want to simulate how it is to feel miserable, you start with no meals, only water, or like less drinking at all, and you tackle these rides. And after an hour and a half, you will see how your body tries to like pull the resources from all place of your body. So you will feel miserable, but you know in real racing what it feels like and what you need to do to get out of it. I do that here on Zwift on a stationary bike because I have a shower, fridge, and everything right in reach. So I know and I remember what my body feels like when it does certain things. So knowing your body over, I mean now over like 25 years of racing is important. So you know what to do when push comes to shove. And in your age, your body is still like growing. I know I don't want to dim you down, but you might have not experienced like the full blown out, like, oh my god, I see stars kind of thing. But it will come. You will push your body in some races to a limit where you are close to it. Hopefully you only come close to it because you realize that you're getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and all of a sudden you need Coca-Cola on the run or on the bike to survive, which is like the sugary Coca-Cola, which is a real energy spike. Spikes up to your insulin, and you will instantly have energy for a short period of time, and then you will crash. So having Coca-Cola, you have to be on top of it when you're already in that stage, that you are already like running on fumes. So don't start with Coca-Cola racing, only in emergencies at the end of the race. And the country I'm from is really small, so the competition is poor. I've started cycling this year, and I'm the 12th time podium finisher and third best in the country. I need to do bigger races. Man, good for you, buddy. Good for you, well done. Love that. Good for you. So, you know what? Yes, at this point, you might run out of competition, and it's exactly the point where you think you don't have competition is when you get past. So, be aware of that. Challenge yourself, and if you cannot challenge you against competitive riders, the clock will be your hardest competitor. So, doing time trials or racing against the clock, for example, doing a course all over again can feel quite tiring. But you do that course in an hour, you clock it, you do certain training sessions, threshold over, under, or do different like workouts, like for example running workouts instead of cycling, and zone 2 or VO2 max workouts, you hopefully will do the same course 2 weeks or a month later in 58 minutes, 2 minutes quicker. There would be a huge improvement. So race against the clock, but look for the cars on the road as well if you do that. If you do it on Zwift, no problem. Okay, no problem. Zwift is very much locked in. But yeah, good for you, and it's great racing for the podium, because it gives you these like big moments. You remember the photos, you standing there, your parents probably like super proud of you, and you yourself can be proud of yourself. Measuring yourself in competition is good. Translating that later into your career, work-wise, it's even better if you can do that. Oh yeah, the fastest I have done 60 kilometers is an hour and 54 minutes while drafting other people. But if I can just have a better aero capacity, then I will be okay. 80% of my training is zone 4, zone 7. Oh, okay. So you're doing a lot of like VO2 max workouts, which is okay, but I'm on a zone 2 ride. Don't underestimate how it affects you when you do easier rides for longer. Like I'm on the bike now for almost like 2 hours, zone 2, lower zone 2, but it's fine. It will not do anything to me right now, but in the long term it does it. My muscles get used to working longer. Doesn't matter which intensity. It's more about consistency. So incorporate some zone 2 workout for you too, my friend. Not all racing, I know it's all fun. I do it myself. And racing could be a training in itself. Don't go too crazy. So yeah, so then you already have like an average speed of like 32, 33 kilometers an hour, which is great. That's good speed. Over that period, when you draft behind people, you already know how to draft then. In that age, I don't have to teach you anything on that. It's all good. Just, pack dynamics in real life. It's a little bit different. Here in Zwift, you ride through the avatars. In real life, you have to sometimes put the elbows out or have some, questionable situations on the bike sometimes, which I don't tell my parents, because if they know everything what happens in racing, they would probably say you're not gonna race anymore. So, but having said that, yeah, it's great. The aerobic capacity is good. That means you can push harder for longer, meaning on an attack on a hill like this, for example, which can be 5 minutes, you will be able to push for 7 minutes and you will create a gap. Okay, that is great. That is VO2 max. But Don't underestimate the people who are riding consistency, you know, who are riding like, let's say, 200 watts all the way like this, and maybe having a little increase of 230 watts on the climb, where you may or may not do like 280 watts to get up there, but it will deplete your energy storage quicker, and they will roll on to you on the flats. So I know your aerobic capacity is great for the top end to get that gap, to get away from them, but you need the foundation power to hold your average wattage for longer, and that's zone 2 rides. So don't underestimate these foundation rides. That will come in handy later, you know. I mean, Pogacar is a young guy. You are still a young guy. You can still beat Pogacar. So, but you know, riding easy once in a while might be boring, but it's cool. Like if you do it with a friend, you just go out for some spins around your local like loop-de-loop there. It's great if you have a buddy to ride with, or a group. So, and then in real life it's the same thing as here. Train the draft, especially in races where you're allowed to draft. In my races, Ironman, you're not allowed to draft. But it's all about positioning on the bike, how you position yourself on the bike. It's important, so you're comfortable in it. Being in a tri position like this here for like 4 hours, if you don't have a proper bike fit, can really like mess up your shoulders and your lower back. And then you see you have the helmet on there, you're looking straight ahead or like straight down there. It's different. It's definitely different. I have not done many road races. I have done, I think, 2. One I won actually. I was a younger guy, probably like 12. And the thing was that I was riding to school every day with my bike, 2 kilometers one way. And that really got me happy because I was riding consistency, even though I had some like sprints in there too. Like today I trained using a mountain bike on the road, and my average heart rate was 165 beats per minute. So definitely an aerobic. I'm okay. My average for a lot of rides is 145 beats per minute upwards. It's more fun to go fast. I get it. I get it. And you know what? I'm just trying to give you more structured advice, but whatever makes you happy, whatever is fun to do without you losing interest, is the right thing to do, because at the end your body will adapt to the fun. If you do fun things, go fast because it's better, go fast. Do zone 4 to zone 7. You're young, you can do it. But that little advice to work on your foundation early will get you far, you know. And it's all about training your heart to be more calm on the ramps or climbs where it counts, so you can push more wattage, more oxygen through your body to your muscles. When you put more power out on a lower heart rate, then you will outdo your competition. And watch your weight as well. Watch your weight for the climbs. Yeah, I need a bike fit. I like a long reach, but I'm 5'8" and I use a 130mm stem on a size 58cm frame, so I will get one as soon as possible. Yeah, I mean, the bike fit is important, and you don't need a professional one. You can there's some apps out there, check it out, and you can go on YouTube how to fit yourself. You can record yourself from the side, and you take pictures and you draw lines here. Like for example, your knee should not go over your toe, and then there are certain angles here on a road bike which are different on a triathlon bike. So check it out. Check out some YouTube videos in regards to that, and then just like pedal like for 10 minutes and see how comfortable it is pedaling certain wattages. I'm not an expert on bike fits, I tell you that, but if you and because I mean you're 5'8", I'm 6 foot. I'm not that much taller than you, so we are similar height. And I feel that I mean you would probably beat me totally in the climb. I tell you that already. If you're that tall, you're probably like light as hell. So, but having said that, you can do it from the side. You can set up your iPhone, I think like 5 meters away from you, and do some video recordings for like a minute, or just sit on it and then it measures all the angles. And Bob is your uncle. Try it out. It will work. Especially from the side here, or from the other side. Yeah, and if you get a professional bike fit, they look at your bicycle shoes as well. You ready? Oh, okay. She's been waiting for me, and I've been waiting for her. Okay, my time is up. I had lots of extra time. I thought she would come in, but I'll let you guys go. Thanks for tuning in. You fellow item. Yeah, be consistent with your racing and don't overdo it. You're a young guy. And then I see you guys on the other side. All right. Bye bye.